This is DBS Radio. Welcome to our Off the Field program. Tonight, a star-studded lineup in Studio 2. We will tell you about them in a little while. But let's say good evening to Gavin Richards, the host of the Off the Field program. His co-host Delvin Esprit is around. Gavin, good evening to you. We are told that you're doing very well. You'll be back at work on Monday. Again, Gavin Richards, we say good evening to you, and we are longing to see you back here at DBS on Monday. Okay, tonight, here's what is going to happen tonight on the Off the Field program. We have the sports officer, Udi John. He will speak about the Windward Island School Games. Dominica placed second this year. Before the team left, I think Udi was optimistic they would have placed first, but of course they placed second. He will talk about the Windward Island School Games. We will hear from him in a little while. We also have Alec Athanaze. And what a person to have on the sports program tonight. We will talk a lot about the Windward Islands Senior Tournament. We will talk about West Indies cricket. We also have Gian Benjamin. Gian Benjamin, who scored a century in the Windward Islands Senior Tournament. Dominica placed second, did not win the tournament. They won last year, did not win this year. But one of the highlights for Dominica, Gian Benjamin, scoring a century. We'll hear from him, I'm very sure. A little while ago, he was not sure he was going to be on the program, but I think his captain has encouraged him to be on. It appears that we'll hear from him. And Delvin Esprit, the Dominica track and field team has left for Paraguay. We will talk to Mr. Hamilton, Joel Hamilton. We will speak to Joel Hamilton. Before we get into the meat of the matter, let's say good evening to Delvin Esprit, our co-host this evening. He's always around. Delvin, good evening to you. What kind of week it has been for you?
Well, Curtis, I want to say a special good evening to you and also your lovely wife and son. Curtis, I want to say a special good evening to the listeners of the field program. Because as you know that a lot of people, they missed the program for the last 3 Wednesdays and so on because of circumstances. But as you know, we are back on tonight and we're just going to just run the program. We expect people to call, we expect them to interact and so on. But apart from that, the week has been going pretty okay. You know the situation and so on. Just working it out very nicely and so on and giving God thanks and praise. But there's a lot of people out there, Chris, that they keep telling me things on the road and telling me about what is the position of the program. So I want to say special good evening to the security guard from Newtown. He work at the National Bank in Roseau, and the people, some workers at the National Bank in Canefield, they're tuning to the program every Wednesday night, Chris, and not forgetting guys like Cyrus and Issa Bantan and those type of guys there. They tune in to the program on a Wednesday night. So Chris, the people in Jimmy Campbell, that's where I come from, Chris, and not forgetting my family, as you know, in Bears and all around the island.
And we say good evening to Gail Esprit.
Oh yes, Curtis, and that's my wonderful wife
and
there.
The daughter.
So, and Adalia. Well, Adalia always tune in, and she's always, Curtis, we say one day we'll have to bring her on because she's supporting West Indies. Doesn't matter what, do or die, she's supporting West Indies. But as you know, that I'm a true Pakistan fan, and so on. I really enjoy destroying the West Indies.
You're live on national radio saying that you're a Pakistani fan.
Oh yes, Curtis,
you feel very good about that.
Oh yes, Curtis. So why are you feeling good is that I know.
And you're telling Alec Athanaze you are a Pakistani fan.
Oh yes, I'm a Pakistani fan. I go all around, as you know me as a public enemy, Curtis, and I'm a straightforward person about it. I have my shit straight from Pakistan and so on, and I'm a Pakistan fan, Curtis. And the thing about it is that you can't raise up playing cricket in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, and so no good cricket, and all of a sudden and so on, we've seen that's what they done for losing matches after matches and continue supporting, and a group of mercenaries have taken over West Indies cricket, and I say it openly, and I always keep telling you that. A group of mercenaries I feel have taken over West Indies cricket, and it's only done what's we're heading.
Well, mercenaries, that's a very, very strong word. I don't know if I want to support you on that at all.
Well, you can say semi, you can say semi mercenary.
That's a strong term. But Delvin, let's go across to UD. Let's talk about the Windward Island School Games. We'll hear from Alec in a short while. But let's say good evening to UD John in Studio 2. We're happy that you're joining us on the Off the Field program, UD John.
Your co-host, Mr. Public Enemy Delvin Esprit, and to all the listeners, both far and wide, those of them who are following on the various frequencies of DBS Radio, and those who
right. I think you are going to be advised to head to the other mic because we are getting you very low. So if you can just head to the other mic, I think that will make a difference.
Yes. So
right.
as I was saying, good evening to you, Curtis, and to your Mr. Public Enemy, your co-host, Mr. Delvin Esprit, and also to all the many listeners of DBS Radio, those who are following on the various frequencies and those who are following on the Facebook Live. A pleasant good evening to you guys.
Thank you very much, Yuri John. So, Yuri, the 2025 secondary school games that took place, Dominica in the second position. How did things unfold, you thought, during the games?
Well, I think the Dominica team was adequately prepared for us to really win this time around. I mean, in 2023, when we last participated at the games, Dominica was able to gauge where the rest of the region were, where the rest of the sub-region was, and be able to position itself for success. In 2024, we were unable to have the games because of Hurricane Beryl having done its ravages down there in St. Vincent, and St. Vincent were the host. And they accepted to host right here again in 2025. And so with the team that we had, we knew that we could have done it all to really win the competition. In times past, Dominica would have won, but it's a tied first place with Grenada. And we were confident that this year we could have done that. And I think we probably fall short of the goal, which was to win it all.
Where did we falter during the games, generally speaking?
Well, I wouldn't really say falter, but the goal was achievable. And Dominica started on a very good footing. Grenada started well in by winning the athletics championship on day one of the competition. That was Saturday, the 26th of July. And then Dominica placed third, which I think was an improvement from the previous year. The previous edition of the games, Dominica came fourth, and so they improved. But the track and field competition, barring the supremacy of Grenada, which speaks of the culture of track and field down there, it was stiff competition. You could well imagine that between fourth and second place, the points were 207, 215, and 220.
Very close, indeed.
Very, very close. 5, 5, and 7, and 6, 7, and 8, 15. 5, 5. So Dominica missed the second place in track and field by 7 points. By 5 points, sorry. With St. Lucia coming second and Dominica in third and in cellar position with 207 points with the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But in comparison to Grenada was at 317 points in first place. So the day one set the precedence, and Dominica on day two was firing on all cylinders. Day two of competition, where you go into the team sports, really firing all cylinders, winning. And when we played against St. Vincent, we had 2 days, 2 wins out of 3. The last game came in football. The last game in football, which was the last game of the evening, having beat them in basketball and volleyball, and then in football we lost. But when you look at the football team, who improved from fourth to third, really and truly, I think that's one of the areas Dominica probably dropped the ball, because in each of the matches, Dominica was always on top. We opened the score in each of the games. We lead in St. Vincent 1-0, and then people get comfortable into the second half, and then you make the same mistakes that your coach would have advised you against. And we could have seen that lackluster kind of attitude on the field. Not a negative one in a sense, but not, they feel complacent, And there are certain things that cause elite people to fail. And it's not because of lack of preparation, not because of an absolute poor performance, but because of simple things like the failure to manage emotions. And it could be good emotions and negative emotions. Sometimes when you are up and you get complacent, you're happy. You're not controlling that emotion. It's controlling you.
Yeah, but John, John, as you realize that the program, we have a lot and so on, and I know you might want to explain everything in terms of that. In terms of the football, we know the football was poor. We can actually say it was poor. You know why I say it was poor? Because we had about 6 or 7 national players and so on that we expected to win football this year. And that was our main year to win football this year, Kyrgyz, and it was just disappointing. Personally, it was just disappointing, Kyrgyz. And John know that for himself.
But Delvin, I would appreciate your disappointment, because if we had a team that we felt we were equipped to win and you lost, then you'd be disappointed.
Yeah, we don't make no excuse for them.
It's not an excuse. It's sometimes we as persons who are charged with the responsibility for the development of our athletes, you need to understand why. So the next time it happens to you, then you can control it. You understand, Curtis? Because the same thing happened against Grenada. We are up, leading Grenada, and then we lost.
So why it happened? It happened the first time. Then you still said it happened the second time.
We beat Grenada. I apologize. And St. Lucia, which was an easier win, what happened? We in we're leading 2-0. You go into the second half and you're seeing, okay, I can try what I want now, because what was working as a team structure, I can now go and try to press, because you understand, going away from the game plan. And those things happen, and it's because people don't understand that. You up, and I remember being in St. Lucia a year playing against St. Vincent in a basketball game, and Dean Vidal celebrating because we were winning, and guess what? Turn over the ball, the game tied, and then it's in split second and latest dying seconds. You're celebrating because you're already comfortable, you win. You go overtime and you lost in overtime, albeit we won the championship that year. And it's because we have to learn to manage emotions, Curtis. Even regardless of it being a negative one or a positive one, we have to manage it so we do not get flustered by those decisions and make bad decisions in the process. And I think that's where one of the areas where we dropped the ball with the in the football, albeit we moved from 4th to 3rd place. Another place that Dominica would be disappointed is in the basketball. Both Dominica were defending champs in both the basketball boys and basketball girls. The girls came second to Grenada in the first quarter of that game, in the final against Grenada. Limaya, our biggest weapon, she got injured where she fractured a finger, and she was out of the game from the first quarter. And Grenada required a double overtime to beat Dominica, albeit we were without our top scorer and our maestro with the ball,
star player,
the true star player. And Dominica's efforts were valiant, and so I commend the girls for doing it. But although we got the chance to win the game 3 times within those double overtime period and the end of the regulation, we lost. And so there are reasons to be disappointed. That's an area we dropped. And the boys basketball team, they moved from 1st to 3rd. And that drop really killed Dominica.
Certainly.
Curtis, I really want to congratulate David Tusse,
the volleyball coach.
Yeah, and when you're talking about coaches at the inter-school level and so on, that coach, David Tusse, have been very consistent from the beginning for a very, very long time, and John can attest to that. Very consistent and so on. The volleyball team have been maintaining a certain standard. I interviewed all the coaches before they left. The volleyball coach was always confident, and from very long time in the inter-school that Dominica have been doing pretty well and dominating volleyball, and it's free efforts of David Tusse.
Right. But I want to join the vein and congratulate the coaches. That being said, David Tusse was the winning volleyball coach this year. He was the Dominica's only gold in the games. But to add to Delvin's point, Dominica's success at the Windward High School games has been fed by the volleyball and basketball teams. The basketball girls were 3-time defending champions. The last 3 editions of the games, Dominica girls won that. And that was in 2023, 2019, and 2018, St. Lucia, Dominica, and Grenada. And so we were expecting to win again, but unfortunately, Yannick Regis, he took over the basketball team here in Washoe Douglas in 2019. They won the girls' competition in 2019, came 3rd with the boys. But in 2023, in the next edition, they won both the boys and girls. And so sometimes we expect when you're up, the only way you can go is down. And so we feel disappointed that we did not get what it is, because had we won those games,
right,
definitely Dominica would be in the first place.
But we have to celebrate the players, all the players at the school games, especially, as we said, volleyball, they got the goal. At the senior level, I cannot recall Dominica beating St. Lucia. I've traveled around during volleyball tournaments, especially during the OECS volleyball tournament. St. Lucia was always beating Dominica in the final. So Dominica would beat St. Vincent, it would beat Antigua, beat all the teams. And in the grand final, most times, Dominica and St. Lucia would feature. And from all what I remember, St. Lucia would always come on top of Dominica at the senior level. So it's nice that at that level, the school's level, the volleyball players can beat St. Lucia.
Well, for a long time, Dominica and St. Lucia dominated volleyball. I mean, since David took over the reins as volleyball coach, the volleyball team, especially the boys team, has been very successful. But it's no longer the same. This what existed in previous years, in years that we talk about with the OECS championship, that no longer exists. Yeah. I remember when they before introducing women's volleyball, Dominica would dominate Grenada and St. Vincent like crazy. And over the years, these two teams have won the volleyball championship. So the competition at the Windward Islands level, really and truly, is a level playing field. Any team can win the competition on a given day. And so I want to commend David, because this is in times like those, you get the coach to be the most valuable asset in the team to get them to win. And so it's indeed, we can put another feather in David's cap, and congratulating him on the success.
Yes. I realize, but John was the manager, and I can see the kind of a disappointment and so on, because when you have that kind of I spoke to most of the coaches. You remember I spoke to most of the coaches, did interview with them and so on. The level of confidence, the level of preparation, Dominic was really expecting this year to really win it all. And then we came out second.
Delvin,
we came out second, but it's a fast second. It's not really a close second.
What do you mean
we have 28 points, but the Grenada team won that competition, I find, with 44 points or something. Why so much of a big gap in terms of the points? The manager can maybe explain that.
Well, to give the listeners an idea of how the points are amassed over the competition, we have 5 disciplines in the games, but 7 competitions. The 5 disciplines: track and field, basketball boys and girls, volleyball boys and girls, football and netball. Now, the team which comes first gets 7 points, second gets 5 points, third gets 3, and fourth place gets 1. So, Dominica, with its first place and the 2 second places, that's 17 points. That's 3, and the other 4 events where they placed third, because we placed last in none of the competitions. That'd be a total of 12. So 12 plus 17 is 29 points. So Dominica finished with 29 points. Grenada, on the other hand, they won both boys and they won both boys and girls basketball, as well as the track and field and football. So that says 4 sevens 28 already. And then they would have come with the rest of the points. It gives them a total of 41 points. St. Lucia, in third place, finished with 23 points. And I think St. Vincent, if my memory serves me right, maybe 17 points. I can always get information, the details from the information.
Right, but Yudi, having left the tournament, Dominic, as we said, in second place, what did we take away from these games in 2025? Are we a stronger team, and are we a better team having taken part in this tournament?
What we can say is our programs are not in a worse stead than that of the other countries. In every competition that Dominica played, we were not just participating. There was competition. Take, for example, St. Vincent. St. Vincent was one of the most formidable teams in netball. Dominica, after being down by maybe 12 points, with the level of competition that they brought to the table, cut the lead to as little as 3 points, 4 or 3 points. And it speaks to the level of intensity that we have. And when these things happen, when you feel like you are evenly matched with other teams and you are losing, you know, start to look at the research. What I have done is do my research on factors which contributes to poor performances, or when you lose, what would cause it? Because if Alec and I are adequately prepared the same way, we have same level of competition, what would cause him to beat me and not me beat him? And there are many, many factors. And so we need to look at those things, and these things need to become part and parcel of our sports program. So now when the coaches are aware of it, and they could now pass on that information to the younger players, to those that are under their charge, then you now have a synergy of both athlete and coach, understanding what is required for us to win. But Dominica is at a level. Our basketball is way ahead of St. Vincent's for example. Or basketball, we shouldn't be complacent with that anyway, because the team that Dominica beat in 2023 in the Alba game by 100 points, they came to beat us this time around by 8 points. Almost the same, a makeup of the team with the same players for both teams, both Dominica and St. Lucia. So we shouldn't be complacent because we beat them now that they can't beat us tomorrow. And so we have to identify where our strengths are and continue to work on them so we could bridge any little gap in that area. And this has to be a deliberate effort because sports is going places and we need to continue to be ready for the transition.
Curtis, I just have some breaking news there, and so we can tell you that Portsmouth Bombers, the Roosevelt Skerrit Bombers team from Portsmouth, they're up 3-0 against Southeast at the Technical Center in the Premier League of the Dominican Football Association.
Right, so Portsmouth Bombers leading 3-0.
3-0.
The other match we are looking at is at Dublin.
Dublin, we United.
Where Dublin, they're playing We United, and Dublin, I mean, if they are to win tonight, Delvin, can they start celebrating winning the title? If they are winning, not yet.
Not as yet.
Right, but Dublin has a very important match play. Now we will get the scores to update our listeners. So, Yudi, your final thoughts as we get ready for you to make way for someone else. Your final thoughts.
Well, yes, Curtis, I want to thank you for the opportunity to share with the Dominican public as to what happened and transpired at the games. As it relates to the performances of our athletes, I think we should single out a few individuals. Dominica got a few goals in the track and field. Gordisha Joseph, she participated in 2 events, the discus and the shot put. She got 2 goals in there. Jermichael Tit, he got a gold medal as well. The triple jump, Dominica had 5 silvers and 5 bronze, and they had 4 gold medals. So I want to commend those athletes, but some of the outstanding athletes were the Gordisha Joseph, Jermichael Tit, who win free. Now, Akisha Look, she was able to go out there and win a gold medal in the 400-meter girls. That, for me, in a field against a cultured Grenada team in track and field, to win the gold medal in the 400 meters, that was a testament to it. We also got 3 medals in the triple jump. This is where Thea Lafont has brought us even a broader scope on the world's map, having won the World Championship and the Olympic gold medals. We had in the boys a silver and a bronze in the triple jump. And we also had a silver in the girls' triple jump. So things are going places. We want to tell those individuals who got injured. I mean, there were people who were injured and against doctors' orders represented Dominica and put their hat on the line to be able to secure our second place.
Lot of God.
And those efforts, I want to commend them and publicly say thank you to all of these athletes, all of these 6 true athletes. And being the manager of the team, I also want to say to the management structure, which includes the 11 officials that were under my charge, and lieutenant officials that were under my charge, and the captain of the team, the girls captain being Kenya John and Amani Francis, the overall captains, and the various captains of the teams. I want to say to them a special heartfelt thank you for making my job much easier, and I'm looking forward to working with them in the future. And I think what should be done, Curtis, is all of us, every stakeholder in the development of our athlete, we need to start to put things in place for next year when we go down to St. Lucia, to not look for a second place, not to look to defend the second place, but to look to get the first place in 2026, sorry.
Delvin?
Yeah, well, he said it all. The sports division have a lot of work to do and so on in terms of Curtis,
I didn't hear you did say that the sports division have a lot of work to do. I didn't hear that.
No,
did you say that? You did.
No, you didn't say that. But that is what he has to say. He says all the stakeholders, but he's supposed to say straight the sports division have a lot of work to do. That is what he's supposed to say. Because the stakeholders can come on board and sponsors and so on, but the sports division have a lot of work.
Because I've been listening to you and never heard him say that the sports division have a lot of work to do.
Because he won't say, but he knows that the sports division have a lot of work to do and so on, because they have to, apart from, because you see, Kids, the children training with sports teacher and whatever, and they come in and have a good session, and so they have to see how we can get it, because our main rival in that type of competition, kids, really is Grenada, and they did Grenada do pretty well in track and field, so they usually come on the first day and dominate that. So Dominica closing the gap there. So hopefully by next year, and so we can. But I want to congratulate Akisha Luke, and so for a tremendous job and so on. She wasn't part of the team because of circumstances the last time around, but this time around she come in and prove herself. And case when people was left out and come there and get selected and perform, you have to give them the credit. And she was left out for no reason whatsoever the last time for the
couldn't be for no reason.
Well, for no reason. I can say that openly because
couldn't be for no reason.
No, I can say that openly. It was for no reason. I can say that for and no, it does prove to them. Look, she come this year, make the team, and won a gold medal in the 400 meters, and it's not easy, kiddies. John might be saying that there, but it's not easy to win a 400 meter gold medal against Grenada, especially when it's a strong, their middle distance running is a powerful middle distance running, the Grenada team, and she won a gold medal. So that just show that we have to look for that young lady, Akisha, look in the future.
Well, yeah, I think that's it, Curtis.
Thank you very much. Yuri John, the sports officer, doing a lot of work. In fact, I was looking at him at some basketball tournament at the Massac Indoor facility, and some overseas team had some problems with a few of his calls. And the pressure was on, but Yuri stood his ground very well.
No, he was in Dominica. He was in Dominica, but if he was anywhere else, and so you can never tell what could have happened to this.
This is the program Off the Field. It's 25 before 8. We come back very soon. The program brought to you compliments Big Edge Financial Express.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trials to face. At least when it comes to your waning finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got Big Edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. Big Edge, the cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan.
Welcome back to the Off the Field program on DBS Radio. We told you we had a star-studded lineup in Studio 2, and among the lineup is Alec Athenes. Alec captained the Windward Islands, the Dominica team at the Windward Islands tournament. He had to leave for some overseas engagement, West Indies duties, but he captained one or two games in the tournament. I'm not seeing Alec properly from where I am. I'm sure the cameras may be the reason for that. I'm not really seeing him, but I'm sure. Yes, you okay? You're okay right where you are, Alec. I'm sure Dean Thomas will sort that out in a while. But Alec, welcome to DBS. You're no stranger. We're happy that you're joining us on the program tonight. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening to everyone.
Right. Thank you very much for
Kedis,
being around on the program.
Kedis, before we even go to Avenue, we can tell you straight in Jubla. I can give you some update that the game has not started as yet in Jubla, Kedis, because of circumstance reason, but we leave it as that.
There's no start at Jubla right
as
now?
Yet.
At 25 to 8?
As yet.
For what, the game was supposed to start at 6:30. You have any idea why the game has not started?
Kedis, sometimes and so you try to defend people and defend certain things and so on, and you just cannot defend it, and you just have to say how it is and so on.
Okay.
And the impression I'm getting and so on, maybe the lack of field preparation or something of that nature, Kedis.
Okay, right. So
maybe that because,
could be some of the reasons why.
Yeah.
Right. So Dean, I was just saying that I am not able to see Alec properly from where I am. I don't know if the cameras, you can shift the camera. I don't know. It's always good to see the person that you're interviewing. Alec, again, good evening to you. And how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How is everything at this moment?
You want to wait a minute? Oh, well, everything is good. I haven't been doing anything. I've just been relaxing, training, getting my mind right for whatever opportunity comes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you just returned from West Indies duties. Talk to us a little about that.
Not just. I mean, I came on Sunday. Yeah. Right after the game, I came down. So, but it has been good home. I mean, it always been good. Always good to be home. The experience was short. Obviously, I went for about 3 days, so it wasn't anything long. But it was a really good experience.
we'll get into a little more on the West Indies, but let's look at the Windward Islands tournament where you captained the first few games and you had to leave for West Indies duty. Dominica did not win the tournament, but on some occasions looked really, really, really good. A few hundreds, and saw the bowlers in their elements. Your own views on what you saw during this tournament in St. Lucia?
It was a bit disappointing to not win the title, obviously, but based on what I saw, I mean, I have trained a lot with them, so I know their capability. I know what most of the guys can do and will do. Like you said, given the good preparation, what will happen, or what is most likely to happen. But based on the tournament itself, I mean, everybody looked good, everybody looked sharp. It was no surprise that some of the guys got centuries, some took wickets, based on the preparation that we had and what we had to deal with in Dominica, given the facilities. So it was no surprise that they performed how they did.
Delvin?
Curtis, and I know Alec, I know Alec and so on, and Giandy and Alec, but this year some things happened, Curtis, in terms of the winner tournament that never happened to Dominica at all. I can't recall happening to me and even Dominica before. And my first problem with the Dominica team is that I cannot understand the team full of batsmen like that like to win toss on plastic pitches. I never believe in winning toss and send man and batter. And this year, Dominica conceded 400 runs in 50 overs twice. That, to me, I never hear that in my life playing for Dominica, and even those guys they're playing for Dominica. First time that actually happened. 400 in 50 overs. The last time
that's a lot of runs.
The last time I heard about the 400 and something, that I remember when North Wind was playing against South Wind and we were playing against Trinidad, and Lara scored 2 something, they scored 450 something. Trinidad against the Wind was North. I can understand that, but at that level now, in two innings, Dominica conceded 400 runs twice in 50 overs. With that type of lineup, I was very much surprised, Kiddies. It catch me by really surprised, yeah.
And I think they conceded over 400 in two of the matches.
Yes, that's never happened before.
Yeah, I cannot recall. It's maybe a long time that the Dominica team would be hit all over the place for 400 runs.
400 runs
in a 50 overs game. So it's a lot of. But Delvin, again, that is the nature of cricket. I mean, some batsmen came very good on the day, and
it happened twice.
Yeah, some batsmen
in the finals, where the guy we won the toss and the guy scored 2.
I think it's the nature of cricket, Delvin. I am not going to criticize.
No, I'm not criticizing
anybody for that.
What I'm saying is that because I know it's Dominica, I know my team Dominica, and in the Windward Island, there's no way we should concede 400 runs in 2. It maybe can happen in 1, but not 2.
Okay, Alec, you want to respond?
On what, the 400?
Yeah. No, well, he wasn't there for the last one.
For sure. But at least he was captain when one of them happened.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't play at our best, obviously. The wicket was a very good wicket, like you said, plastic pitch. It was a very good wicket, small ground. The ball wasn't doing that much, and the ball was, white ball flies more than the red ball. So it wasn't one of our best days. I mean, we put down a lot of catches, a lot of misfields, and it's a small ground. Whenever you get the chances, you have to take them, especially on good wickets. So, I mean, like I said, it wasn't one of our best days, and from that game, we took the learning and we went into the second game and we batted first. We scored 350 plus.
Good score, very good score.
So when you look at the scores, you could tell by the scores the natures of the pitches. They were very good batting wickets. Outfield was good. So, I mean, 400 is a stretch, yes, but once you have wickets in hand, anything is possible.
Yeah, and I think Gian, who is in the studio, Gian himself had a good 100.
Yeah.
And other players, I think there was a good knock by. I think Pascal got a good knock. I think in one of the games, and some of the players did really well.
Yeah, Pascal scored 79 against Grenada. That is what I was there for. I left soon after that. But most of the guys did well. We know Kavem did well. Gian, like I said, scored a century, scored a half century as well. Finished with an average of 70 something. Jelani Robinson as well batted really well at the top. And some of the guys in the middle.
But that was not what you all as a team expected. You went there with the intentions of winning the tournament again.
Yeah, I mean, every team that take part in any competition wants to win the competition. And we went there with a plan, and I think it was a very good plan to win. But like I said, cricket please played on a day. And if you don't have a good game in a short tournament like this, it is very difficult to catch up. And we started off with a bad game, but we took learning very quickly. And I mean, we played 2 good games, obviously, but then St. Lucia was the better team on the last day. So,
what you saw, Alec, are we looking good at the Windward's level based on what you saw during the tournament?
what I saw is that when we do get good wickets, good facilities, that you see the true talent of our players. And when you look at the scores, I mean, you have Windward bowlers in the lineup, and you still get scores over 300 consistently. So whenever we do get good pitches, good facilities, then a lot of people will like to speak about the batters, but then the bowlers show up on that wicket. Then you see what your bowlers really need to work on, because when you get good wickets, your batters do very well. And when we look at that tournament, we had 4 or 5 centuries. And when you look at all the teams, batters scoring centuries, batters scoring half centuries, men looking good as batters. So what we really have to focus on is getting good facilities so that we could actually improve our batting.
Dominica, yes, Delvin?
You realize his emphasis based on good facility. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. Maybe a lot of that is maybe lacking in the Caribbean and so on. Before, you remember, kids used to play on grassy strips and so on. Shoes that was extremely hostile, but now what you find and so on, the bowlers, they have mixed strips and so on, that maybe assisting bowlers, maybe not assisting bowlers and so on, maybe helping the slow bowlers, but it have to be at a consistent level, and they have to be at a certain standard and so on, that you can get batters to come there and show and give the bowlers a chance, kids, to get wickets, just so you can give the batters opportunity to score runs, kids. So it have to be both ways.
The selectors met and came up with a Windward Islands team that included 3 Dominicans. Many people I have spoken to felt that 1 or 2 others could have been included, but as Alec, again, that's how selections go sometimes. Selectors see things differently from the ordinary man.
Are you making excuses for selectors?
How do you expect me to make...
Are you making excuses? I'm not asking.
None at all, Delvin.
Okay, all right.
I'm just saying that a few people expressed their disappointment, and...
A few alone?
A few people I spoke to expressed their disappointment and regret that only 3 Dominicans could have been included on the Windward's team. I'm not going to put Alec under that kind of pressure, but Alec, were you surprised that only 3 people on the Dominica team made it to the Windward's level?
I mean, you could say I was surprised, yes, given the nature of the tournament and the performance by our guys. I mean, you could say that I was a bit surprised that we got only 3.
Yeah. Delvin, you too had your own views on the numbers.
No, but you see, I can understand. But you see, I like to make a strong case for Dominican players. And if you perform, it doesn't matter if you're from St. Lucia and so on, you deserve to be on the team, so be it. But what we're saying is that we have 2 other guys and so on that played in the franchise and so on for the Volcano. They performed well in the league. One scored 100, second leading run score in the tournament. One was the second wicket taker in the tournament, and could not get favor with a Dominican selector as a chairman. It's just amazing, Curtis. Those things just amaze me.
Let's go to the telephone. Hello, good evening. Yeah, caller, good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
That's Job Joseph.
Yes, Job Joseph, good evening to you.
Yeah, man. I want to support...
The famous boxing coach.
Yeah. We talk about cricket now. I want to support Delvin Esprit. And most people might find it controversial. But sometimes you have to do and say what is right, and stop defending when things are wrong and foolish. Let's first start with the bowling. Batman, we know him as Tyson. He don't have to play in that tournament to make that team. He was just called up for the West Indies A team. And then get favored by the selectors, which, as Delvin rightly said, the chief selector happened to be a Dominican. So I have a problem with that. The next problem I have is Gian Benjamin. Delvin said he got his 2nd most runs in the tournament. But as a Windward Island player, he get the most runs. The other guy that get the 300 plus runs, he's not playing for the Windward. We have to remember that. Now, if Gian couldn't make it as a keeper, he had the most runs in the tournament, he has to make it as a batsman. And there is no 2 ways about it. If the tournament pick you on what is done, because that's why they don't pick Batman, because you don't perform to their standard. But Gian performed, and he didn't make the team. So they're showing that they are flipping one way or the other. The other thing, the guy they picked as the keeper, right? Douglas. He scored 121 in the game, and his total runs was 154. That means he's not scoring the other games. That same keeper, we well know that. He dropped over 8 catches last year's tournament, and he had a problem with the board. That same player have an issue with discipline. He was buying our T10, but he made the team before Gian, who had the most runs in the tournament. I mean, that's just craziness. Now, let's go a bit further. We had Grenada coming out last in the tournament, but they had 5 players on the team. I'm not saying you can have 5 players if you perform to be there. But one of the players, I have a question. His name is Daniel McDonald. I will give you some stats, right? He's an all-rounder, as they said. He gets 41 runs in a game, and he gets 18 runs in the next game. He bowled 3.2 overs for 36 runs and 2 wickets. And the other game, he bowled 3.3 for 8 runs, 2 wickets. But he made the team play in 2 games and not doing anything in the 2 games. Getting 40 and getting 18. He only bowled 6.5 overs in the tournament and make the team. When there are other players that perform so well and couldn't make the team, as Delvin rightly said, one of the players get the second most wickets and couldn't make the team. Enough craziness is happening, and we sit down and say, well, it's not the players, it's the selectors, they have to support. I don't do that. I don't do that. We have to support what is right and what is wrong. So it's wrong. You can't have a selector which is a Dominican and that's in favor with the players that perform. Not because they are Dominican to pick them, because you're a Dominican selector, but they perform and they should be on the team. If Gian couldn't make the team as a keeper, he must make it as a batsman, and there's no 2 ways about it. I must stop something that's nonsense. I'm trying to shield people. Say it as it is.
What about Sammy?
Excuse me?
What about Sammy?
Which one are you talking about?
Darren Sammy.
Darren Sammy should be at his home in Senator drinking coconut water on the beach. That's all I can say. Darren Sammy shouldn't be involved in Western cricket anymore. And people have to say it as it is. We may be vexed, they may be vexed, but he's doing this. He's not doing honesty to West Indies cricket and Windward cricket.
All right, Job Joseph, thank you for joining us. Stay around. We're going to be around until 9 o'clock. If you need to call back, you will call back. Thank you very much.
Call back.
Thank you very much, Job Joseph, boxing coach.
And because not only that, Job was elected to be part of the Olympic Committee case in the last general election. You know that heated general election they had there for the Olympic Committee case. Job is a member, I think, now
of the Olympic Committee.
Yeah, I think
he won some election.
Well, yeah, he's part of the. He's part, yeah, maybe as a committee member or something, but he's part of it now.
Are you sure he won an election at the Olympic Committee?
Well, you can clarify that. Then we can.
Gavin probably can tell us.
No, for sure, I know he's on the
committee.
Yeah, he's on the committee.
But you're not sure whether he was voted.
No, he was voted in because you can't just actually come on a committee like that or the Olympic Committee. As you know, there was a lot of controversy in terms of what transpired and so on in terms of the election. As you know, that the vice president have changed and so on. But we're not drifting there. We'll get there some other time. But Alika,
the Dominica cricket team, the team that we have, the team that played in the Windward Islands tournament, has the time come? A few senior players, a few youngsters. Has the time come to probably review what we have at the moment? To review the Dominica team to see what we can do to change things around? Or do you think that we have the best available players on hand?
I mean, well, some of the guys, we'll see it in the near future. Some of the guys have announced their retirement. So a lot of more youngsters would be pushed in. But you will see it announced in the near future. But I think we have some of the best in the island. In the region as well, in the Windward. So it's not a case where we didn't have the best team up there. We had the best team. I believe we had the best team, and we had the best people, the best environment for us to perform. It was just a case where we didn't sometimes, and that is the game. You know, sometimes you're in, sometimes you're out.
Delvin?
And Chris, we want to say hats off to
Vincent Lewis.
Yeah, we have been representing Dominic for quite a number of years and so on. We wish him all the best and so on. He said he want to go into coaching, so that's very, very good to know that after quite a number of years and so on representing the country, Chris, that he can actually go and get into coaching and so on and deal with the youngsters and so on and teach them the cricket game and get things moving. But all in all, he have done a tremendous service to Dominica and so on for quite a number of years, playing the left arm fast bowler from Penville, that area of the kid is Vincent Lewis. I want to say congratulations to him for his efforts and so.
Vincent Lewis, the fast bowler.
Fast bowler.
Right, so Delvin, I have a team. It's the West Indies team for the 3 one-day series against Pakistan. That should take place in Trinidad at the Brian Lara Academy. The 3 matches on the 8th of August. That's
Friday.
That's on Friday.
Friday night.
Friday night. That's the 8th. Then the second game will be on the 10th.
Yes.
And the 12th.
Yeah.
So back-to-back games.
Yeah, Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday.
Right. So the team has been sent to me, and I will read out the team selected or released sometime today or last night.
By the selecting coming to you by the
well,
coach,
Cricket West Indies.
Not Cricket West Indies.
That has been sent to me, and when I looked at it, it's coming from Cricket West Indies. Are you saying that's not the correct team I have?
Well, you have the correct team, but it's coming from the coach, the head coach. Darren Sam is the selector. He's the lone selector.
Our telephone number, by the way, is 1-800-327-448-3284. And if you need to speak to Alec Athanase or you want to comment on any matter we're discussing, you feel free to call 448-3284 or 1-800-327. So the West Indies team to be led by Shea Hope. The other players, Joel Andrew, the youngster, I think from Antigua, Delvin,
Yes.
So that's Joel Andrew. And you have Blades, Jedediah Blades, Casey Carty, Ruston Chase, Matthew Ford, Justin Greaves, Amir Jangu, Shama Joseph, Brandon King, Evan Lewis, Gudakesh Moti, Shafin Rutherford, Jaden Seals, Romario Shepherd, and as we said, the 3-match one-day series to begin on Friday. Don't see Alec Athanase in that team.
And so that is the team for the 3 matches.
Well, that's what that has been sent to me for the 3 games.
Somebody's on the line.
Yes, so somebody else is on the line. As I said before, I don't see the name Alec Athanase. I expected to see the name Alec Athanase, but of course, that is probably up for discussion. Let's go to the telephone and say good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Curtis. Good evening, Delvin. What's going on?
Good evening, Gavin.
The one and only Gavin Richards. Good evening.
Hi, how are you guys?
Well, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. That's the way. We're on the field and we're off the field at the same time.
Yes. All right, I was just listening. I just wanted to, add my support to what Joe Joseph had to say, because on Sunday when I got the team, I was very, very surprised that there was only 3 Dominicans. And I remember having discussions with Delvin in the past when you would say, once you win the tournament, you should have at least 5 or 6 players on the team because it means you win the tournament. Okay, fine, that's cool. At least we played second and there were a number of outstanding performances. And I felt very, very disappointed, especially with the likes of Gian Benjamin not getting selected. I mean, I've watched Gian Benjamin bat for a long while. And to me, what I saw in the tournament on the games, that was the best I've ever seen Gian Benjamin bat. And not just in terms of the way that he batted, but you have to put it into context in that he was able to get a lot of runs and in the time that he came into bat. Like there was one game against, I think it was Grenada or one of them, memory just skipped me there. But he came in when Dominica was 7 wickets down for 160 odd runs. And he formed a good partnership with Gillan Tyson, and they took Dominica to 300. So he not just made runs, but he made runs under pressure. And to me, that's what you would like to see from a batter. And I would think that the chairman of selectors, Mervyn Thomas, he really needs to come on and explain to the public, what is the rationale or what is the reasoning behind the selection of the team. Explain to us the direction you think that maybe the Windward selectors are looking at, because from the outside it looks very disturbing. But that's what I wanted to add. So thank you, guys. Good program.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Richards. We will see you, I'm very sure, on early Monday morning. I'm happy to know that you are doing very well. Delvin?
Well, Curtis Gavin said it, Job said it, and so on. And it just tells Curtis, it just tells and so on that the Dominican players maybe have to work a little harder and so on in terms of trying to make the Windward's team. And that happened in the past and so on, because remember that happened in the past and so on with Tyron Trofield and those type of things, not getting selected to play in Dominica. And it's all kind of things happening, Curtis. And now we've seen it with Alec right now and so on. Got a late call from the Windward tournament where we could have won that Windward tournament. Call him up to America in the night. And the next day, play him, he scored a 7, and then the next match and so on against a strong Pakistan team with our bowlers spinning ball, all angles, getting the batsmen, them guys have no idea.
When you say our bowlers, what are you referring to?
The Pakistan bowlers,
the
our spinners and so on, our mystery spinners and so on, making mincemeat of West Indies middle order. Those guys had no idea in terms of that. They won the second match and so on the last ball, Curtis, by trying to score 133 runs. And then Curtis in the final match, as it came there under difficult circumstances against the same spinning attack there and scored a 60. And then you pick in a team that a batsman just scored a 60, and then you go and play a match a week, and then you drop in him and bring a whole set of guys that haven't been playing cricket, relaxing at the home, maybe firing 1-2 off and on and so on. Curtis, what is going on in West Indies cricket? Curtis, what is actually going on in West Indies cricket?
Am I the CEO of West Indies board? No.
Well, we might have to look for that post, because I might have to ask Mr. Rav Gonzal to tell us what is going on in West Indies cricket.
Let's go to the telephone. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, caller.
Delvin, how are you doing?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Good night.
Good night.
This is Matthew Godfrey, good night. So this, the panel, I have been listening, and I made the same suggestion last night on Carry FM concerning Tyson and the wicketkeeper, which I find it very strange to see them two men perform so good in the tournament. One had the second highest wicket for the tournament. The other one had the second highest scoring. And he not cannot make a 11 for the Windward side. And yet the West Indies board is looking at Tyson very close as a test bowler. And they tell me we have Dominican selectors, so much need to come on the radio and say what is the reason that Tyson and Benjamin did not get a place in the Windward side. Look, now we're facing a problem again. So we have to go ahead and find out what Dominicans do to the selectors. What is the problem? They don't like. They're doing the same thing they was doing with us when it was time for Irvin, Robert Phillips, and Irvin. They're bringing that back to us. Because you cannot tell me, Alec Atanes just score 61. And then you play in Cabo, you're going to play a series after 3 days. The man not on the side after. I can be crying myself. I'm not playing, am I very disappointed with the selection of Sammy? And Sammy will tell us what kind of brand. If it is shoes in the food, he's trying to make the brand, or if it is shirts that the players are recognized. But brand, I don't know what kind of brand of cricket Sammy going to bring in the West Indies. Because we're all disappointed. You can't tell me how Alec Atanes he's not even making his 13-man squad, and we are waiting for even the other players of the West Indies to be on the side too. To even the both of them out again in the West Indies. I mean, come on. Somebody in Dominica have to come and tell us what is the reason why the West Indies board has the problem with our cricketers in Dominica. I want to really know. Let Thomas come on the radio tonight, call him Delvin Esprit, and let him come and say why Benjamin and Tyson did not make the 11 of the Windward Island.
Well.
Good night, and they're listening.
All right, caller, thank you very much.
And that caller calling away from Tibo, I want to say a special good evening to you in Tibo, and also Jane and the rest of the people in Tibo. I want to say a special good evening to you. And Chris, the caller asking the chief selector from Dominica and so on why. And Chris, those things that normally happen and so on. Chris, that. And you know who's the president. I think the president, the president of the Cricket Association. He's part of the West Indies board and so on. Those guys go. When you ask those guys questions, they have to defend and so on because they cannot talk because of protocol and everything else. Curtis, and they have to keep themselves quiet. But inside, they know what they do, and it's time for them to come out and speak the truth because they appoint the coach, the selector. So if you appoint a selector to do a job, you expect to do a good job. You're appointing selectors to do a good job. They're not doing a good job. You're appointing one man to do a job. You're not going to go. What is going on in the Caribbean?
I need to find out, though, from Alec about his own mindset going into that game in Florida, having left the Windward Islands camp to go. I wanted to find out, but the telephone line is going. Let's go to the telephone again. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Good evening to your panel. It is interesting though, because I am listening to the discussion, and it would appear to me that at times we are interested in picking players based on performance, and other times we are not so much interested in looking at performance. And I will say why I'm making that statement. But before I even go there though, let me say that a little disappointed with Delvin though. Really enforcing that he is a Pakistan supporter.
You disappointed in me?
Yeah, because what happened is you are actually telling Ali Afanas that you really did not want him to perform against West Pakistan. Because that is your team. That's your
No,
team.
when you realize, I just
I
said,
wasn't supporting you.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
No, he might be the one. He might be the one that's the better batsman of spins on the West Indies team, and we have free spinners in Trinidad. So I suspect those batsmen that they will be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but you would have been happy for him not to score against Pakistan because you want your team to win.
Delvin,
He has to go there. He has to go there and perform against the team. When you're playing against Pakistan, you perform against Pakistan. You perform against a very good team.
Yeah, but the point I actually want to make though is I am happy that we are talking about performance because it's clear that we have a chief selector that's a Dominican and we have free Dominicans. And again, we have Darren Sammy as a Windward Island player, and we're getting problems to our Dominican who are Windward Island for the rest of the team. So when you look at these things, you try to wonder where we're really coming from. But the point is, we are enforcing performance, and I am happy because players need to make teams when they perform. And we are disappointed that Dominicans did not make the team because we perform. But Darren Sammy, who is getting a lot of blows, and I personally support Afanas and I support Kavimos. Both of them, the average test is about 25, and they have probably the highest score for the last test series we played. But Darren Sammy now, in picking players, followed Afanas and Kavimos performance after the Australia and I think the England tour. And Ali Afanas is there. Ali Afanas and Kavin Hodge, to me, did not perform as I wish they could have performed. I wish they could have performed. And basically, his emphasis was he wasn't picking those players because of their performance. Ali Afanas was given the opportunity to captain a West Indies team, and Ali Afanas did not perform as I would like him to perform. Ali Afanas again was captaining a T20 team. I think he scored 90-something. That was one score that I think I can talk about. But I wasn't sure because the other scores were not where I expected them to be. So Darren Sammy was looking at all of those things when he was picking the players. He wasn't looking at the test, which all of us emphasizing on. He should have looked at the average, were the best average for the last 10 games they played. But along that after the test game, how much of their performance we can shout about. And to me, Ali Afanas have too much talent, not to have West Indies begging him to play for them. Ali Afanas, to me, when you look at Ali Afanas, that is the man that understands how to play spin and pace. Probably better than him. But talent is not performing. You have to perform to the peak, and we are happy that now we are asking that our Dominicans perform to the peak. Now, Ali Afanas' performance and peak actually on West Indies team for the last time. It wasn't a performance peak, If you look at it, it was a pressure peak. That is what it was. It was a pressure peak. But Ali Afanas now appears to perform when he was get picked for that last T20. To me, I would have called him on the one-day team. But when he was dropped from the last West Indies one-day team, he was not performing. So probably these are the things they're looking at. His last record when he was on the West Indies team. And what are they looking at now? Where are the performance to bring him back right now as a one-day player? Because when he left the team, he did not. He left the team because he was not performing. How many games have he performed to bring him back? These are the things we have to look at. But to me personally, see, because of the other batsmen we saw play against England, and Ali Afana just came and his first game he was out. Probably he got to the second game. He was the best batsman basically, and he looked good. He actually looked good, and he was very disappointed when he was out. Now you are Rutherford. Rutherford basically keeps failing all the time. He keeps failing all the time, and we have a lot of the players that we pick right now. They have been failing all the time. So there was a place for him. I definitely think there is a place for him for that team there. But I am not blaming them not to pick him, because if they are selecting players based on their one-day performance throughout the past games that they play. So I'm happy that we're speaking about performance. And probably my final point, we are crying down Sammy now. And I heard Job say that Sammy should have be at his home drinking coconut water. We never said nothing about Phil Seaman. Phil Seaman had West Indies team in misery. We never said nothing about Phil Seaman. Darren Sammy now, just basically in his first set of series, yeah. If AMMP has to look at it based on the amount that Phil Seaman did, I'm hard. And we never said nothing about it. But we're ready to put Darren Sammy on the leader. I mean, that is so unfair to let us give him a break. Let us see what can come out of it, and let us analyze the game properly when we're trying to criticize. There are other things to say, but other callers have to make their point. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Colin. It's 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. The program is off the field. We have with us the West Indies player Alec Athanaze is here with us, and of course my co-host Delvin Esprit.
Curtis, I can give you some news from Jubla.
Right.
1-0 Jubla against We United.
So the game has started.
Yes,
that
1-0.
It's going to be a late end to this one.
Very
started
so.
Late. Right.
And Curtis, not only that, but we're getting information also on the under 17 Windward team. There's no Dominicans on that team, so I don't know what is going on, but we'll do some more. We'll get some more information on that.
Let's go back to the telephone. Hello, good evening.
Yes, that's Job Joseph again.
Yes, Joe.
I'll stick to my point that Sammy should be on the beach drinking coconut. Number one, let me just correct the past caller. With that not a Sammy thing of now. Sammy also failed as a coach for the West Indies to qualify for the World Cup. So that's a yesterday thing or today thing. So he has failed in the 50 overs. He has failed in Test, and he's still failing now where he's supposed to be the strongest in T20. Let's go to the next side. The same bowlers are going to be playing in the 50 overs. They are the same bowlers who played in the 20. We see the West Indies batting performance against these bowlers. Jabon is correct. Esprit is correct. They had no clue what they were playing. They had no clue what the guys were bowling. But when Aaron has come to bat, he was the only one that was sweeping. He was the only one that was challenging the bowlers, telling them change their pitch. Everybody else had no idea what was happening. That's a fact. These are the same batsmen you're picking that are going to play against the same bowlers. And the guy that look as the best batsman among the refs, he did not find favors from the selectors. We are going backward and not forward. No, he said he's disappointed in his job on not supporting the West Indies. And a caller called earlier and talk about Irvin Swillingford. You can go way before that time. You can talk about Alec. There's a keeper, Alec Reid, who was the best in his time, and he could make West Indies. That's a long time that happening. But the other thing I want to say, somebody said about, I think it's Curtis, that some of the persons in position, they have to be diplomatic of what they do not say. But let me tell you something. Principle comes first in everything. If you're in a position where you think you can't say what you don't want to say, but for principle, if you think what is happening is wrong, you have to tell them it is wrong, and by principle, leave them in what they're doing is wrong. But you have to call it part of it. So not to try to be in a position just to be there to protect yourself being there and do it, and you know what happening is wrong and not speaking about it. Not to protect yourself. You have to protect cricketers and to make the best for the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have another caller. Let's go to the telephone line again. Yes, caller, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, so Delvin, I was saying earlier on, we've lost that one. I was saying earlier on about Alec Athene's leaving the Windward Islands camp to head to Florida for that T20. Alec, what was the mindset? Having come from the Windward's tournament, under pressure, obviously, you had to...
Having taken...
Yeah, you had to take...
Taken from the Windward Islands tournament.
Right, and obviously you were going to Florida for a T20. What was the mindset going to bat in that game for the West Indies?
Well, I mean, I prepared well before. I was training for CPL already, so it's basically the same format, and it was just another opportunity for me. I guess I haven't been on the team for almost a year, so it was just another opportunity for me to just, I guess, get myself back out there, market myself a bit better.
And from very early, you felt that you were in the mood to score runs.
Yeah, it was.
You felt you were going to dominate the bowling.
Not necessarily. I mean, it was a bit short notice when I came. I mean, it was fly and play one time. So I mean, you obviously have to get in tune with the conditions, the environment. So the first game was kind of just me going out there and getting myself into a camp. But obviously, it didn't work out as planned. So we had a next game the day after, so I did a bit more studying, obviously look at some footage of how the bowlers normally bowl and just formulated a plan simple to go against whatever they had to come against me.
You scored 100 at the Windward Islands tournament. Is it one?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
90. Are you playing at your best? Do you think that you can still produce a lot more than what you are doing at this present time?
Oh, definitely, I could produce a lot more. I mean, any player that even despite performances, you always feel like you could put out a bit more. It's just like track athletes. Whenever you run a race, you still feel like, oh, I had some more in me. So, I mean, I still not at my best. I'm still very young in the cricket. Most people might say I've been here for a year or plus, but in the year, you probably just play like 10 games. When you have the other side of the world playing 50 games in a year, and then you wonder why they're doing better than us, because they have the experience, or they have more experience than us. They get to learn better, quicker and faster in better facilities. So, I mean, it's just a case of me just trying to learn on the job as quickly as I can. It is quite difficult to do that on the job in the Caribbean because you don't play much games. And if you don't start up well, like short tournaments, then it will be very difficult to catch up in the end, because then you will be under pressure to perform. So it's just about really learning on the job and learning as fast as possible and trying my best to be mentally prepared for everything.
At this moment, do you think, or what are you telling yourself, you belong on this West Indies team? You think that you should be around playing more for the West Indies?
I mean, that is a tricky question. I myself cannot think that I should be there. Obviously, I have the capability of performing at that level. So, I mean, it's about me right now getting myself in tune, getting myself mentally ready, physically prepared, and fit, just so when the opportunity presents itself that I could perform and do my best.
If you listen and you see the comments and you listen to the fans, people feel that you should be on this one-day team, West Indies one-day team.
That, like I said, that is for them to do. That is for them to talk. I can't go and sit down and look at comments, because the same comments that could possibly make you could break you. Because when you don't do well, the same people that calling for your head now, calling for you to be on the team, they're calling for your neck when you're on the team. So, I mean, like I said, it's just about me trying to get myself mentally prepared, me trying to get myself fit and staying away from social media. Because whenever you play and you're on social media, it's a recipe for disaster.
What is your next assignment?
CPL. I leave on Friday.
Okay. And the okay, so you're going to be out With which team?
St. Kitts. I
St.
play
Kitts.
for St.
Right, so that's your new
Patriots.
Yes.
And how do you prepare for the CPL? Is it the same format you use when you play for the West Indies? You're going to the CPL and playing for St. Kitts this time?
It's a bit different for West Indies. West Indies, you know exactly who you're going up against. So then you would possibly get footage, and then you will try to make a plan as to how you would score against that particular attack, that bowling attack. So for CPL, it's a bit different. You know, you work on your skills, things you think you might need. It's me. I sweep well. So it's me trying to perfect that craft. Me trying to work on my game, my power hitting game, trying to get fitter, trying to get stronger, and just prepare and make sure that whatever I do, I'm mentally prepared for anything that comes.
So you feel very good at this time?
Yeah, I feel I am at, I wouldn't say my fittest, but I feel very good. I feel very motivated whenever I go to the gym. Because obviously cricket coming up and you get a chance. T20 is more for the spectators, but as players you get a chance to go out and express yourself. So, I mean, I'm a bit excited about that. So that is more motivation in the gym, and it's better on my mind or better on my body when you do well at that level, like I just did in that game, and you know to yourself that alright, you have the confidence, you have the backing. You have the skill to actually perform at that level. So right now it's just about basically continuing whatever you're doing and trying to top up, add more, whatever you was doing.
We want to wish you well for the upcoming CPL.
Let him score a lot of runs.
We hope he will
score and maybe get maybe a bigger contract and so on. Maybe the IPL or wherever. If you can come there and score heavily in that tournament, you can never tell. The sky is just the limit, because the opportunities is plenty.
Let's go back to the telephone. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, good evening, Alika.
Good evening.
I've seen Messi.
You have a bad line. I don't know what you can do to rectify that, but the line. Let's try again.
Scotty, you're listening to yourself, Scotty. Okay. You go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, all right. I was saying the confidence has the metal, it shows the metal, and I've been thinking of becoming a great player, and the West Indies needs to work with him so he can achieve that objective. There's a situation that we have in the Caribbean for the longest while where Dominican players always under pressure. We had great players like Irving Schlinkford that never got the opportunity. By the time it was over his head, that he got him in. We had the kid a great speeder like Caleb Laurent. Everybody can remember Laurent. One of the best in the Caribbean. And a guy called Lala actually called him for shocking to Trinidad to bring his Trinidad bowler baby. Yeah. So we have an issue of that. But I'm going to go back to the Windward cricket. That 50 over cricket is inadequate for preparing players to play first class cricket. How come in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 2000 earlier, we were playing 4-day cricket, and now in 2025, we are ready to play 50 overs in a series for the winning team. And even when guys perform at the window at that level, you're not picking them. And that's another thing in the Windward. I suspect there's a quota system going on in the Windward Island now. They want to say, well, they cannot pick the best players. So the best 6 players are from St. Vincent. You got to pick them. If they're coming from Dominica, you have to pick them. You have to pick the people on merit. And I want to know what happened to Kamal. Kamal Hamilton was picked to play the 50 overs for Windward and also for the play in the 40, and he never got the opportunity. Actually, they brought in a guy in one of those matches from John Bowler to come and replace him while he had the contract on the team. This is the kind of a thing I say, what is these guys are doing against the crippling with Dominican players? The other thing in the West Indies, you cannot have Sammy being a coach, being a chief selector. What else Sammy done is like really like that he gives all that actually in West Indies cricket. I say he get lucky when Samuel and Brathwaite won the T20s for West Indies. Sammy was never a great player. So why you think he's the most experienced, the most know-how to come out with what I call a quick, I call it this cricket, quick shit model. Nothing happening in that. That driving us down to the ground. And you see now he called back after that, after a super point to him. And he will about to play in the ODI. When you have to say he's one of the better batsmen speed and you're not willing, so what happens? Carrying much play ODI cricket too. So you just relegate the carriers to nothing. And I mean, I did want Delvin. I asked the question. Have you heard a statement from the president of the Dominican Cricket Association with the omission of our players on Windward Island squad and the West Indies squad?
No, he will not say anything and so on. Remember, you have to understand that he reached in a position so where he will not say anything because he worked hard to reach and so on, and you realize that he's very, very quiet, and so the good time following everybody. So when you're in a good time, it's difficult, They're not me, If I'm in a good time and so I realize it's too good.
It's too good.
You have to leave it, yeah. When some people fall in some good time and so on, and it's reaching a position where they reach a position where they can benefit, and it will be very nice for them and so on. They will do limited and so on to ready to leave that position or to get yourself in any type of trouble. And it reaching a position now where there's no talking first now, because it's reaching a position that the presidents and so on cannot talk, because as you realize that you heard the president of the West Indies board, Shallow, making some statements saying that we are attacking Sammy because he's from St. Lucia and this type of statement is making it wrong the Caribbean. It's really uncalled for.
Yeah, this Shallow needs to relegate from West Indies board. He tried to use West Indies board as a stepping stone to his political career. And I have a problem. This guy don't have interest in cricket. His interest is in politics, using West Indies board as a stepping stone to political career. And I have a serious problem with that.
All right, then.
I got to leave you now.
All right, then, Scotty. Well, thank you very much, Scotty, for calling, and we'll leave Mr. Ralph Gonzal to deliver that.
Yes.
Right, it's 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. I noticed, I looked through the system in Studio One, and I noticed that the athletic coach is somewhere around, maybe looking to get onto the program. We will see how that works. Let's go back to the telephone. Hello, good evening. Right, we've lost both of them. So let's try this one. Hello, good evening.
That's it.
No, yes, caller, you're on.
You're on.
Okay, you hear me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've lost. We've lost this one. It's 27 minutes after 8 o'clock. This is the Off the Field program. The program is brought to you through the kind compliments of Big Edge Financial Express.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trials to face. At least when it comes to your waning finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got Big Edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. Big Edge, the cash can be in your hand. With the easiest payment plans. Cash in a flash.
Back to the telephone. Good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening. Good evening again. I just wanted to just make another quick point. When callers call making statements, because you as a sports reporter and Delvin as a man has followed sports for the longest while, can make some corrections, Because when a caller say that is only Brathwaite and Samuel that caused Sammy to win a T20 tournament, that is not correct. Under Sammy captaincy, West Indies won T20 twice, World Cup, and the two other times they did not win. They were in the semi-finals. I'm under his leadership. So it's not like a man that just come out somewhere and just all of a sudden come and coach West Indies. I understand the situation that there should have been other selectors, but you cannot just criticize a man and say all kind of thing that is untrue because you figure you are having a problem with it.
Curtis, we know that is the one caller in Dominica that have that vote for sure. That's a sure vote for sure, Curtis. That one is a sure vote for Sammy. It doesn't matter what. That's a sure vote. That's a Sammy fan self, Curtis.
It's 29 minutes after 8 o'clock. This is Off the Field on DBS, and we still have with us Alec Athenaeus, but we want to go across to the telephone to hear from this caller. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, Curtis.
Yes, caller. Go right ahead.
This thing has happened since in the 50s. They had Alec Reid as a wicket keeper. He put in the West. He rejected him. He had a very good midfield. You know what they said? He couldn't bowl. He wasn't passing in the West Indies. He couldn't bowl on his foot. So that's why they were getting him. It's not today happening. And Sammy said, according to Job, not tell you you just stop everything and for the rest of the people.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are still going to go back to the telephone. Delvin, the lines are going
crazy.
Yes, so we're going to go back. Hello, good evening. Good evening to you.
Yes, good evening, Job again. I hope we understand what Alex said. He said that we are not playing enough cricket.
That's true.
And that's one of the problems why they are not learning as fast as the other players. What the captain of in present India team right now, he played together with Alex. And what the guy level, because he's playing the amount of cricket he's playing compared to what Alex is playing. But something I realized with Carden Hodge, he's a test player and probably one of the best test batsmen they have in the Caribbean. They can say what they want. But there's no space for him on any CPL team. They are not playing enough. We have this kind of tournament in the Caribbean, and he's not on any team. That says something.
Not even on the team.
I think, Prince, there should be some rules, or there should be something put in place to protect players on the West Indies team, whether it's test players, 20 over players, or 50 over players. That when you have that type of tournament in our region, I don't care if it's franchise or what, and they control it, whatever, different West that no say, there should be something in place to ensure that your senior players or the national team or the test team be protected. This young guy not playing enough cricket and he's still not on a CPL team. So he's not playing any cricket. And I asked him myself, is that a plan or something? Now, let me give you a little tip, Delvin. Also, at the end of this month, we are boxing back in Dominica. I'm looking at the stadium or this facility at Marsac. We'll have boxers from the US, we'll have boxers from Curacao and boxers from Grenada.
I've been waiting for that.
In Dominica on the 30th of August. You'll get more of that information during next week.
What tournament is that, Job?
It's a Dominica developing boxing tournament. We're going to have fights from the guys from the age of 13 to 25.
And that is coming to Dominica. What date you mentioned?
It will be on the 30th of August.
That would be
this month.
That would be the first tournament in a very, very long time. I cannot remember seeing.
You can say it so, but in Dominica, is the last one we have in 2020 for 2023. That was the Caribbean Games. But the boxers have been traveling out of Dominica and been in tournaments also.
Who are the top people we have in Dominica now, just for information's sake?
Well, I can rightly say that most of our senior boxers have migrated and some of them have stopped. So that's why I'm trying to develop more younger boxers. That's why the competition is going to be for boxers from 13 years to 25. And there are some boxers at that age, you will be surprised. That's why you need to be there on the 30th of August. There's going to be a lot of surprises. But you'll get much more information next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Delvin, some boxing coming to our shores.
Well, Kidis, I over the age of 25, so there's no way I'll be involved in that boxing. Kidis, I don't know about you. I don't know if you want to test yourself in the ring.
Okay, so Delvin, what we're going to do now is to go back to Alec. We've had him for some time. We're going to go back to Alec to maybe give him his last 10 minutes so he can speak to us, speak to the Dominican public about Alec Athenaeus and the way forward. The way forward, people want to hear what he has planned, and how does he return permanently to the West Indies team? Yes, we want to hear from you. The way forward, where do you go from here? We know you're going to the CPL, of course. You will leave here on Friday, but what do you have in store?
Well, my plans are pretty simple. I do what I can and a bit more with the facilities that I have. If I have facilities to work out gym, then I work out. If I can't work out, then I play cricket. If I can't play cricket, then I try to work on my mental side of things. But my preparation pretty remains the same. I train in Portsmouth. We have an indoor facility.
You make use of that?
Yeah, I try my best to. I used to train there when it was outside and muddy, so might as well make use of the indoor. So that is pretty much it. I try my best to do whatever I can in there. Not every day, but I mean, you some days you have to work out and stuff. I just came from the gym. I was actually going to the gym, and then I had to stop to come here. So, but I will try my best to get a lot of cricket in. That is because you could train all you want, but then you might not get the experience or develop how you want unless you actually get in game time. So I will try my best to try to get some games in, whether it be in England, whether it be in some franchise somewhere, so basically the way forward is, and I have to, like the caller said, I have to get in some performances to get a look in again. So I have to look for some games because we don't have enough cricket playing. If I go and play in Gardens, they wouldn't look at me for West Indies even if I score 500 runs in a game. So
but what I realized, Alec, is that they call you up for the 2020, and they're building a World Cup. They're trying to build a team for the World Cup and so on, and they're looking to go the young way. So your chances are very good because you scored a 60. So maybe the next 2020 series they have and so on, they cannot overlook you this time around.
I wouldn't say cannot. I mean, I was a replacement, so I would think if the player is fit, then most likely that they would be called up.
In spite of the 60 you made?
Yeah, in spite of that, but definitely it is a little case, I guess, to be considered for selection next time around. It's not a definite pick. You could perform all you want, and if they decide then that is the best man for the job, obviously they will go with that man. But so it is I made a little case to myself to be considered for selection, I could say.
I think so.
Yeah, so it is not a definite pick. What I will do is just obviously try to work hard at my game, try to get fit, try to get stronger for whenever the opportunity presents itself for me to take full charge of it.
And I realized, Kit, is that the way Alec talking there tonight, he have learned the system very well. He have learned that up and down system and so on, but we don't need to say too much on something because I am the one that have to say this kind of a system, that up and down system. So he seems to have learned the system pretty well. So he's well educated in terms of that system and what is going on in West Indies cricket. So that's good to know.
He's going to leave us in a little while, but Delvin, if the opportunity does come at some time, I would like to bowl to Athanas for maybe 2 overs. Let's see if he can score 20 in these 2 overs.
You could bowl to me in a big pack, man. I'm not that strong. You could bowl to me.
I'm sure the opportunity will come when I need to bowl him 2 overs. I want that to happen. 2 overs. Let's see if he can get 20 from me.
No,
just make sure when you bowl the 2 overs, you don't have work next day.
No, Chris, I would have a problem. Chris, I wouldn't have a problem. I can feel for you, but I have to be on the tree somewhere wrong, and maybe the ball might just go over my head. It might be very difficult for me and so on to get those balls. So it might be extra work for me.
All right, Alec, we are happy that at least you were here with us tonight. I mean, it's always good having you. Feel free. I'm sure Gavin is listening. Gavin knows that whenever you want to come on, you will get the opportunity to come on. And we are very happy again that you were here with us tonight.
I was actually at the gym, at the same gym that Job just came from.
Okay,
EG just called from.
Right. But by the way, there's another call. Let me just get you one more. Okay, right. I see the person could not wait. The person could not wait. So, Alec, again, thank you very much. You moved to the CPL. We wish you luck. We hope that you can score many runs in the upcoming CPL.
And not only that, maybe a late call too, because Friday far. The way West Indies operating and so on, Friday extremely far. You can be here because they just call you anytime, at any time of the hour, any night and so on. West Indies operating both in the morning and in night, so you can call you at any time.
All right, so look, the call has come. So let's take the final one. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. I'm happy to be the final caller. I want to ask Ali, what is his weakest stroke?
What?
Yes. Caller, go ahead, please. Go ahead again, please.
I was asking Ali, what is your weakest stroke?
My weakest stroke?
Which stroke do you get out most commonly?
Yes, Alec, you heard the question?
What stroke do I get out mostly?
Yeah, the weakest shot.
What that get him out most often?
Well, what he asking from since I start playing cricket or since he start looking at me on TV?
No, I've been looking at you a very long time, out of TV and on television.
Right. So, Alec, you got the question.
So I just want to say,
I would think that he coming to ask that question. He probably have a shot in mind, so he might as well say it.
I think the reverse sweep is for me.
I don't think so. To be honest, I started playing that reverse sweep like 2-3 years ago. I've been playing cricket my whole life. I'm 26 years old. So I've been playing cricket my whole life.
What I want to ask you, Alec, is to try to better it. Try to master it. I think it gets you out too many times because remember, especially leg spin bowlers, they are sometimes on you with that sweep that you have. There's a pretty stroke, very pretty stroke, but I find it gets you out too many times, especially LBW.
All right then, but you know I have a video prepared. I mean, we can play it right here. We have a video prepared where I have 100 reverse sweeps, and I got out playing it 4 times. I mean,
in your career, you saying?
In my career,
really?
Right? I have a video.
Only 6 times?
Only 4 times. It is a minute and probably like 10 seconds. I mean, obviously it's a stroke where we are not used to, and we're not used to it. But it is a stroke that has brought me a lot of attention and
a lot of runs.
A lot of runs. As the same 60 I just come out and play.
You used it quite a few times.
Oh yes,
exactly. So I mean, and it is what actually opened up the field to me. So a lot of people might not like it. Obviously, it's a high risk shot, and with high risk, anything high risk in life, then there will be consequences if you don't get it right. So I understand what he's saying, but it is a stroke that I will never stop play. It is a stroke that
he's just saying to play more careful.
It is a stroke that might pay the bills and my family bills for the rest of my life. So definitely will not stop playing. But I understand what he's saying. He's saying to get better at it.
Yes, I think that is
commendable because most people that speak about that stroke would probably say to stop it, but he is saying to get better at it, and I commend that.
Yeah.
Right, Alec.
And kid it was the manager.
Do we have another person coming on?
No, we have Joe, but we have Joel. But
yeah.
But kid is the manager of DBS there. He's the one that called there and Cecil and asking because he loved Avanas and he want Avanas to subject that. But Cecil was also a batsman, and Cecil's favorite shot was the forward defensive shot, and he get out so often to it. So it's amazing.
Yeah, I battled with Cecil a number of occasions. I cannot remember him getting any big score. But he had the defense, Delvin.
Yeah, but
it was not easy to get him out.
Yeah, but he was still getting out on the defense. And that was his favorite shot.
Alec, thank you very much. Again, we wish you well at the CPL. You leave here on Friday, as you said, and you're heading to St. Kitts. All the best. The sky is the limit. You're a good player. In my mind, when I look at this West Indies setup right now, in my mind, you're one of the better players. You're Dominican. I'm not saying that because you're Dominican. I love the game myself. I look at a lot of cricket. And Alec Athanaze, you are one of the top West Indies players at this moment. Keep it up. Do your work. Everything comes with hard work. Do your work. And I'm sure we will see a lot of you, Alec Athanaze, in the future.
Thank you.
All the best. Thanks for coming again.
Thanks, man.
This is Off the Field. We don't have much more time. Again, too much more time. It is 19 minutes before 9 o'clock. The program is Off the Field. And, of course, that program brought to you compliments Big Edge Financial Express.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times help is coming your way. You got Big Edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. Big Edge, the cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Big Edge, cash in a flash.
It is 18 minutes before 9 o'clock. Joel Hamilton, athletic coach for Dominica. The Dominica team, some members have already left for Paraguay. Some big games, major games taking place in the next few days. I spoke to one or two people who have already left Dominica for the games in Paraguay. He will talk to us about that for the next 10 minutes or so. We have to end the program just about 4 minutes before 9 to make way for the next announcer. But Hamilton, good evening to you. Good evening to you and welcome to the Off the Field program. It's late in the night, but we're happy that you're around.
Thanks for this. Good evening. Good evening to Delvin and the rest of your listeners out there.
Right, so you are the coach of the track and field team for Dominica. The games are taking place in Paraguay. Talk to us about the games, who are the athletes taking part, and how important these games are for Dominica.
Well, it's the Panam Youth 23, under 23 games. Well, it's the games, not a championship. It's a game, so you have different spots. But my focus right now is on track and field.
I know that we have, besides the track and field,
the swimming team. Yeah,
we have swimming, right?
Yes.
It is show field.
Yeah,
we
but
have
tonight we're going to talk about track and field.
Trennis is also taking part.
Yes, so we have Trennis,
right,
Hamilton, and Addison James representing us, and there will be javelin, Addison in the javelin and Trennis in the shot put. And they'll be competing later down in the games, because you know the games have different events, different spots in the games. So track and field is always the last set of events in the game. So the athletes will be in action later down in the competition.
So you as the coach, you're here in Dominica. Some of the athletes are out of state, obviously. What is the engagement like? How do you get the players prepared for, or the athletes prepared for an event of that nature? When you're here in Dominica, you have to engage them, I'm sure. How does that go?
Well, the athletes are preparing with their respective coaches. As you know, the games are late because it's late into the season. But the athletes are preparing. I'm in contact with them constantly. We talk, we share, I share different things with them in terms of if they have any needs, any concerns. I communicate with them in terms of the game. So primarily, my job is to give them support at the games. But they are all their coach. I'm working with their respective coaches.
So Addison is out of state?
Yes, Addison. As you know, Addison in Jamaica. He goes to school in Jamaica. Yeah, we spoke today. I spoke with Trennis today. Yeah. So basically, that's how it is.
So again, the athletes are who? Just remind us who are the athletes taking part. And by the way, it's the Panam Youth Games.
Panam Youth 23.
23
games, yeah.
And you have to be under 23.
Yes.
To take part.
Yes.
I know some members of the Dominica Olympic Committee are also out. Billy Doctorow, the president, and so on. So these are some major games taking place in Paraguay.
Yes, the games, yeah. So you have like the Olympic Games, you have the Panam Games, stuff like that. You have the Panam Games, you have the Commonwealth Games. Just the next edition of the games, yeah.
Delvin?
Well, I realize that we talk about track and field, but we're taking part in the field events. Curtis, I realize is in the field events because Addison James is for javelin.
Javelin, yes.
Javelins and Trennis also. Trennis doing what? Shot put and discus, or just one?
No, only the shot.
Okay, I shouldn't do the shot. I
also, the week before or a few days before, she take part in the Panam Games. She'll be taking part in the NACA Games.
That's a very tough schedule.
That's in the Bahamas, yeah. So she'll be throwing on the 18th in Bahamas.
What are our chances like from what you know?
Well,
do we have any medal contenders?
Yeah, we have both our athletes are medal contenders. Both of them have proven in the past that they are championship athletes, because you have seen it. I mean, Trennis at the world junior games. You saw her again in the university setting. At the big meets, she shows up. Addison, same thing. Yeah, double Kakarifta gold medalist. And when it comes to championships, both athletes, they show up. So I'm pretty confident and plus they are doing the work. It's not just saying that they are talent, but they're out there doing the work. So I'm pretty confident that we can get a medal or two at these games.
Delvin?
And I can tell you, Tranis she's very
Tranis.
confident. Yeah, Tranis is very confident. She was in Dominica recently there, and she's very, very confident. And so on. She said that she was on the program and she talked about the training and everything, how she's going to prepare for such a tournament. So,
I think she has an eyes set on the Olympic Games. The next
yes,
Olympic
you remember
Games.
that well. And so on. She said she have an eye set on that and so on. So we're hoping that things can just actually go away, Chris. And she said that with lack of injury and those type of things, because you had to be very careful and so on, because as you know she had some slight injuries and so on, but now and she's getting good support from her parents and so on. I want to say good night to Jasmine and so on. She's always tuning into DBS Radio off the field. The mother, when you have this kind of support from the parents, kids, it really helps and so on, and then the coaching staff will do the rest.
Where are we right now as we speak as an athletic coach? Where are we in terms of development in athletics?
Well, right. Watching the last season, we have a lot of talent. Curtis, we have a lot of talent, and I think it can only get better. Even at the inter-school recently completed inter-school games, if you watch some of the numbers, some of the athletes and them, the numbers they are putting in terms of the distances and the times, so we have talent. One of the things is that we have to support the athletes. If you realize most of the athletes that does well in Dominica, they have a good support system, be it family, be it community. You understand? Because I mean that's a hard spot. At times it can be very lonely out there. So what we need to do is support the athletes, not just when they win a medal or when they go out there, but look out for them. You know what I mean? You see them out there, or you get to know them, ask them, you know, as their parents or as somebody, hey, how can I help that athlete? Because we have talent out there.
The government has announced, and not only announced, but the government has implemented this track. Plans really on the way based on what I've seen for the track in at Point Round. I think, in fact, the project is started.
Yes.
The project, Delvin, you're looking at me like you're a little puzzled.
No, what do you mean puzzled?
The track has started. Work has started.
Kids, I'm all around the island, you know. And not only at Point Wrong, but I passed this afternoon at the Windsor Park to make sure that project continues. And I saw some real foundation have been done. So I monitored that. A matter of fact, that project there in Windsor Park is my project. I don't know if you want to claim the one in Point Wrong.
So the question I want to ask though is, the Point Wrong facility, what do you think? At least between 2 and 5 people have told me that they think Point Wrong is very far for the athletes. I've heard that comment. What do you think?
Okay, so let's put it as that. If you put it in Grand Bay, the person in Portsmouth is going to say it's too far. If you put it in Marigot, I'm going to say it's too far. So at the end of the day, it must go somewhere, and you put the best place. That's the best place for the time we have. It's Point Wrong.
Give me an idea. How do you think the athletes in Roseau will be able to at least, be accommodated down there in Portsmouth? I mean, what times, for example, would they go and train and things like that?
Because even if we have a track, you still don't want the athletes on the track. You're wrong, because at the end of the day, the track it's hard. It has a certain. So I believe the biggest advantage for the track is that, like Alec said earlier on, that he needs to play more cricket. Our athletes and them can wake up and, hey, you know what? Every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, they can compete, and that is what our athletes need. After they do all now, so they start their preparation for the season. When the season starts, they can get to compete. So that's one of the things that we're going to help. You understand?
There's a call for you. I'm going to go to the telephone, and it's already 10 minutes before 9 o'clock. I am committed to end by 5 to 9. Let's see how that works. But let's go to the telephone. Good evening.
Good evening, Matthew. Good evening. This is, I have been trying to sort of follow in between, but this is Joseph Fadul.
Oh, Joseph Fadul. Thank you.
Yes. I know that we're speaking a bit of heavy cricket tonight with Alec and Gian, and of course.
Well, they have left. They have left the building. Building.
Yes. But if you, I know we were supposed. I attempted to call at the halftime, but I was listening to that wonderful interview that you had with them, and the game is ended here at the Stockholm Technical Center. The game between the Portsmouth Bombers and the South East. That has just ended in a 3-0 win for Portsmouth, with goals coming from Delvin George, Anton Larrock and Ricardo LeBlanc. So once again, Davon George scoring in the 2nd minute, Anton George in the 13th minute, and Ricardo LeBlanc. All goals coming in the first half and no goals coming in the second half of play. I can also give you an update from Jubla that started a very late game. The game actually started very late due to some difficulties at Jubla. I can tell you that right now the league leaders, Jubla, are actually leading 2-0 against Reunited. Jubla, the league leaders, are leading 2-0 against Reunited with goals coming from Travis Joseph and McCorney Royer. Travis Joseph and McCorney Royer so far have been the goal scorers. That game is actually underway in the second half. There's just about 69 minutes played into that game. The game is still playing right now, entering the 70th minute. So that's the update for on football tonight. Curtis and Delvin, and of course your guest in studio with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Joe Fadol.
I'm sure you will let us have the scores, the final scores at Jubla. Thank you very much, Joseph Fadul.
Yes, you're welcome, Curtis and Delvin and company.
Right, so it appears that the celebration will go ahead in Jubla tonight. Well, they have not yet won the tournament, even if they win tonight, but to me, it's almost impossible to beat Jubla to figure out somebody can beat Jubla at this point. They're going to be, 8 points clear after tonight's win. If they win, they're 2-0 up. They're going to be 8 points clear. I don't think they can lose the tournament again.
Well, myself. But as you know, anything, well, I don't think so, Curtis. I think
it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be
8
difficult.
points, they're 5 points up right now ahead. Yeah. Another 3 points if they win tonight, that's 8. Yeah. The other teams would have, 2 more games to play, 2 and 3 more games to play. Among them, you have to play against Jubla.
Yeah, well, Maho playing them, so Maho playing them on Sunday, Curtis.
Yeah.
Maho playing them on Sunday, and that's a crucial match because
if
Maho can beat them.
But even if Maho beat them right now,
Maho moved to 54 points.
And
so
they're already 8 points up.
No, they will be.
If they win tonight, they will be 8 points up.
Yeah, but if Maho can beat them on Sunday and so it will be 54, so it will be only 4 points ahead of Maho with maybe 2 or 3 matches playing. So it's in between and so on. But Curtis, as you know, that the match against Maho and Jubla, I was very much surprised that match going to play in Portsmouth. In Jubla, I thought that match was in the technical center, but there's something maybe you can never tell. There might be well, Joe is part of the Football Association, so maybe he can just give us
I'm going to go back to Hamilton. Delvin, we have to talk dominoes before we leave. So your final words on this big athletic meet taking place in Paraguay. What do you say to Dominicans?
Well, just go out there and support. Well, the athletes and them would need your support while you're out there, in terms of you rooting for them and you saying something nice to them. Just give them the support, any kind of support you can, because I mean, when you're representing the island, you need that kind of support. Yeah. But Curtis and Delvin, also the DAAA, Dominican Athletic Association, right now they are running they started today up till the month end, the 29th. They are running the kids athletics, and it's being held in different parts of the country. You have the Carlinago, you have the Carlinago territory, you have Westmount Rangers, you have Portsmouth Club in Portsmouth, you have Striders in
still have Westmount Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Godwin Dossett and then Smith Telemark, and then F1's Athletics Club, and also you have the DARA, which is Dominica Referees Association. So they're also having this ongoing course for officials. As you know, we have one of the top coaches officials in the region, which is I think the silver referee in terms of Mr. Walson Packet. So a lot is happening in track and field. So the track, we're not just waiting for the track to be built. We are building capacity in terms of the track and everything around athletics. So when it comes along, that we're able to make maximum use and take advantage of the track, and athletics will be in a much better place. But I think you guys should invite probably the president and probably the secretary or Mr. Wall's packet.
We will do that.
So we'll have a little more because there's a lot going on right now in athletics.
Yeah, Brendan Williams.
10 minutes is not enough to discuss that.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, certainly.
Delvin, finally. Dominoes.
But Kiris, what can I say in Domino? I know that the national society have selected a 25-man squad of 26 and women and men to represent Dominica this weekend and so on. Leaving the state on Saturday to represent in the World Domino Championship.
World Domino Championship
in Antigua.
In Antigua.
In Antigua.
How many people are leaving?
Almost over a team of 30-man, a 30-man squad, where the women and men and so on. I think they have 9 women. Yeah, they had a late call for Sandra Robin from Grand Four, and then we have 8 girls, we have 9 ladies representing, and the rest is men and circuits. The team, well, they had a couple practice last night and a couple practice last week. So hopefully that Dominica maybe can do well. Maybe well. You know it is on that particular time and so on. A lot of people maybe not pleased with the selection and so on of the national team, but as you know, you always give the selectors the benefit of the doubt and so on. But one is one person selecting like Sami, you don't give the benefit of the doubt. It doesn't say it's a bad selection because there's no way, and I keep telling you that, there's no way in Western Cricket should reach in a state that we never have a selecting panel. There was always a selecting panel. The captain and the coach could be part of that selecting panel, but to give one person to run things, I think really no. It does showing that it's disaster happening in sports to let one person run things, and when these things that do happen, it happened in Dominica, it happened in the West Indies and so on. The Caribbean in a whole, we have to look at the society in a whole in the Caribbean. Curtis.
By the way, what day does the national domino team leave? What day?
On Saturday night to Antigua and so on, and we'll be spending the next 8 days in Antigua playing domino, representing the country. Curtis. And as you know, it's a very tough competition. It's a World Domino Championship and so on. So we're talking about 10 countries will be taking part in that competition. Players from the United States and Canada, I think, will be part of that tournament. The Dominica team will be leaving on Saturday. I have a few members that I know of the team and so Kiddies. But we just have to wish them all the best. I'm part of the team, Kiddies, but we just have to wish the whole team the best and so on.
I'm going to shut it down right now. It's 2 minutes before 9 o'clock. Mervyn Anthony comes on the radio very soon. He will come with his unique style. Hamilton, thank you very much for being around. We wish we could have had more time to speak to you, but all the best in Paraguay.
Thanks,
as the young athletes do their thing in Paraguay.
Yeah, he'll be leaving very soon, Curtis.
I think he should be leaving next week. Next week. Yeah. Dean Thomas has been an integral part of this whole process tonight. Dean, thank you very much for your hard work running up and down to ensure that we are live to the viewers out there. Thank you very much for your usual hard work. Thank you very much, Delvin, for coming in. Next week, Gavin will be around, and I'm sure you will be another co-host when Gavin returns next week, Wednesday. The program brought to listeners through the kind compliments of Big Edge Financial Express.